everyone. How are you today? I'm super happy to have you here. Welcome to this new episode of Myriam Mindset, where I share tips and tricks and I interview people to go over a few things that I've discovered through my growth journey. And hopefully, those tips and tricks and interview will help you find new aspects of your life that can help you move forward. And remember, everything here is my opinion and my guest's opinion. You are welcome to have your own opinion as well. But like I say, I hope everything here is you're gonna grab a little nugget and run with it. Today, we will watch a recording because my guest is a very busy person. She is an amazing soul. She is a holistic practitioner. I know it can scare people sometimes, but one of the main reason why I wanted to have her on an interview for you guys is because I feel sometimes healthy is a very, very scary word. It sounds a lot like restrictions about work, about those hippie ditty, whatever, like weird people that you see around that are completely off stream. So I wanted to debunk a bit of those myths. And of course, this call is about mindset, but to me, a strong mindset has to go with the body that follows with it. You can't have a strong mindset and not the body, and vice versa. So if you're super fit, super healthy physic, if you don't have the mindset that goes with it, to me, it's not a good balance. So that's why I wanted to bring her on today. I hope you enjoy it. She's a very blunt person. I love her for it. You might have come across her content before, might not. If you didn't, I strongly suggest to start following her. If you are watching this on YouTube, please make sure you look in the comment. I'll make sure informations are there. If you're watching on Facebook, same thing. I'll make sure information are in the comments. So I hope you enjoy this little interview that I had with her. And yeah, we will start right away. And I will see you in a few minutes. Here we go. So I'm here with Jenny. Jenny's a good friend of mine. We met a little while back, but she's here today and she agreed to answer all my questions. So here we go. So welcome, Jenny. I'm super happy you're here with me today. So I want to start by asking, I like to let my guests introduce themselves. So in 2 to 3 sentences, I know there's a lot to you. It's a big package to unload. But in 2 to 3 sentences, how would you describe Jenny Soder? Who is Jenny Soder?
Oh, I am an unedited, passionate advocate for natural health.
In a few minutes.
One sentence.
There you go. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. Okay. So I know your story a bit. And I do know that, let's just put it bluntly like that, health was not always your priority. So what happened, or what triggered you to want to do the switch? Try to look into being more healthy and what it can do for you. What happened? Like, what is the trigger?
Yeah, well, that's loaded. I kind of see my life in 3 different phases. There was like Jennifer that was born, and then a trigger happened when I was 16 years old. I was in a car accident, and we were rear-ended at 70 kilometers an hour when we were stopped, and I was debilitated. I could not walk, I could not stand, I could not do anything. And I was probably, I was young. I think, 16 years old. And so health really wasn't a priority at that stage at all, or my definition of health was very different than it is today. And I had entered into a system, the conventional medical system, that really didn't offer me solutions that I was really into. It was just like, here's a medication to stop the pain, blah, blah. And I had searched and searched and searched. And there really wasn't anything out there that really gave me relief other than massage therapy. And this was very new at the time. So that actually triggered me into becoming a massage therapist. And I went to school for massage therapy shortly after that. After I graduated from high school. And then I got into sports, nutrition, science. It molded after the years. And at that point, I was looking at health from a depletion stage, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
It was nutrition and exercise. And that's all there was. Sleep, train, eat. That's it. And that was that life. And that worked during that time. And I was interested in that. And then it morphed into holistic, where I am now. It was everything, all encompassing: nutrition, hydration, your thought patterns, your what you ingest, what you inhale, what you think, all these things. So those are my 3 lives, I guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys, so this is just part of Jenny's life. There's so much more, and we can unload everything here, but we're gonna keep it short.
Yeah.
So so it evolved, but throughout this evolution, did you feel that there were resistance around you to those new changes, like resistance first within you, because you were used to living a certain way, and now obviously it was requiring some changes for you to make those changes? And did you feel like that's what I said, like, was there resistance within you and within like your surrounding, like your family? And like, was there resistance around you?
Yeah, I guess from phase 2 to phase 3, from like sports to nutrition, there was this external appearance of health and vitality because I was lean, I had abs, I was strong. And so within me, even psychologically, it was tough to understand, well, why do I need to change it if it's working, so to speak, right? Like externally, it looked like it was working, but internally, I was really unfulfilled in so many different ways. So yes, I think that within myself, it was tough to kind of relearn what health meant to me. And externally, I think everyone was also thinking the same, like, what are you doing? Like, why would you change something that's not fixed? But as I started to redefine that health, then people started to see, as I was talking about it more and opening up and transitioning, that really that health was not where it should have been.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So obviously those changes were probably hard at some point.
Yes.
But did you feel at the moment, and even later, to me, it's kind of in the two-phase question. So at the moment when those changes were happening, did you feel that the benefits were outpowering the hardship of going through those changes? Or was it like, I'm thinking more long terms? Or did you see like not instant because nothing is instant, but did you see some sort of progress that was motivating you to go through the hardship of doing those changes? Or was it, like, how was it for you to transition?
Yeah, that's a good question. It actually, I started to become more aware of my body and what it was doing and all these signals that I was seeing. Oh, I had acne here and there. And what did that mean? And I started asking more questions. And as I was asking more questions, I think that what I started to feel is that my metrics, and I talk a lot about this with my clients, my metrics were changing. I see a lot of people in my practice where they say, oh yeah, I have great energy. And I always say, well, what does that mean exactly? Like, what are we comparing that to? And I think energy was the first thing. I thought, well, I have energy, I can do this, I can do that. But I always woke up in the morning and I was like this, and I never really realized that what I thought was energy before really wasn't energy at all. And so these were the, becoming more aware of my body and how it was feeling allowed me to feel changes that far outweighed, you know what? And it's really hard because when I say outweighed the changes, my husband and I talk about a lot about this, about how so many people feel like you're have this preconceived notion that you're deprived when you make these healthy changes. You're giving this up, you're giving this up. And it's not like that at all. In fact, we laugh and we're like, oh, we don't even go to restaurants anymore because the food is not as good as the food we eat, right? And so we don't feel deprived. But I think it's that notion of you're giving things up, but it's not that you're giving things up. It's just that you're changing the things that you had in your life before.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, absolutely. And with those changes, I feel like because, like you say, it's your practice is very holistic. You're looking
Yeah.
into all aspects of life, like what you ingest, what you inhale, what you put on your body, what you put in your mind. Everything for you is covered. And the the thing that baffles me when I talk about healthier choice with people, the response I get a lot, and I don't know if you get the same thing, but the response I get a lot is that, yeah, but all those healthier choice or all these alternatives, other than the regular brand or the regular mainstream choices, are so expensive, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
What do you respond to that? Like, how, what, as a holistic practitioner, what is your
Yeah.
response when someone tells you that?
Well, I think that your finances slowly shift as well and your priorities. I mean, like, if I think back to what we used to spend on like going out, doing certain things or cleaning products or like stuff I don't even really even remember anymore. In fact, when I do research for content and I'm like, what do people use for headaches? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, over the counter medications, for instance, or medications in general, um, or like time off work. It's just that the expensive part of it, it shifts, like your budget shifts. The majority of our budget now is keeping us healthy, not getting us healthy, right?
Yeah.
And so if you stay ahead of it slowly, then that, in the beginning, it was tough. I'm not going to lie. It was tough to say, oh, there's an organic ready, or there's a conventional apple here that is 25 cents, or there's a 75-cent apple that tastes a whole lot better, gives me more nutrients, fills me up more. It's hard to make that choice, right? And I understand that, but that just being one thing, but the quality and the density that you have when you make natural choices, as opposed to getting away from synthetics. And this can be for like natural solutions, like um, you know food-based supplements and that type of thing. You're getting a whole lot more bang for your buck and versatility. So
Yeah.
it far evens out. Yeah.
So it's a transition basically that is the hardest part. Once you made
Yeah.
the transition, it's just like you say, it's just maintenance. So it's
Yeah,
easier to keep up. And
for
yeah,
sure.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I do know that you're a lot about education. Education is very important for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear you say over and over again, do your own research, do your own research.
Yeah.
And like it opened a lot of it opened my mind a lot since I met you. Like I've done a lot of research. You've helped me too. I'm very grateful for that. But for someone that doesn't have necessarily access to a Jenny like I
Yeah.
do, when I have questions,
Yeah.
um, there's a lot of information online. There's a lot of studies. There's a lot of debates between is this good, is this not? Of
Yeah.
course, big corporations are pushing for their products when other holistic practitioner like you're pushing for other stuff. So as a newbie or as a person that is starting, how do we know that what we're researching is legit? Like,
Yeah.
do you have a tip? Like, is there a way of knowing what am I looking for? Where am I looking for the information?
Yeah. That again, I love your questions. Like these are amazing questions. So the first thing I would say is I always encourage people to start asking why. Why should be the primary question that you have when you start taking control of your health. So even if it's from a micro level, you go to the doctor, they give you a prescription, you ask why. Why are you giving this to me? How is it supposed to work? Can you help me understand how it will work with my body to solve this, like to be the solution, right? And even if you don't have the complex like questions to dig more, take that information and then use it to expand yourself and go elsewhere. So me, I'm very different from most people. I don't go based on studies. I don't go based on blogs, anyone's opinion, nothing. None of my information that I share is based off of that. And therefore, if I'm talking about a subject, um, typically there's not a lot that you can argue about because I always go back to the science books. I go back to how does it relate and how does your body work? If I put this in my body and this is a chemical, how does the body react to that chemical? How does it move? So the thing that I tell people to do is get off the internet. Seriously, open up the encyclopedias, those things that were dusted, dust them off. Go into books and start understanding how your body works. Because when you're talking to a health professional, whether it be me or your doctor or specialist or your family members, and they ask you a question, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's actually what saliva is. That is what chewing is for, right? Like we don't ask a lot of these questions because A, we don't have time, B, we don't know where to get the information. But if we go back to the books, it teaches you the mechanics of how we live, how we think, how we operate, rather than this diet's good for this person or this is good for this person. How is it good for the body and how will it transition the body? So asking those in-depth questions where, again, a study is flawed. Every study on earth is flawed. I mean, unless they're studying you, it's not valid. So this is why I never go based on studies, and you'll never say, oh, studies show that this, whether it's something that I believe in or not, I will never put a study forward.
That makes a lot of sense. So we talked about it a little earlier, and you mentioned it yourself. Being healthy can have a complete different meaning for each and every
Yeah.
single one of us.
Yeah.
So right now, where you're at in your journey right now, and I do know that you're not stopping there because I see you do some more research and improving, and I see you daily
Yeah.
on your content, like
Yeah.
um, sharing with us where you are adding and what you're looking into and stuff like that. So right now, where you're at, what does being healthy mean for you?
Ooh, I have a very high definition of what healthy means. So healthy to me, and what I'm always aiming to bring my clients towards, is symptom free, no symptoms at all other than vitality.
That's
And
up,
that's it. No aches, no
straight up.
pains, no PMS, no bloating, no nothing.
So your body is its optimal
Yeah.
function.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely. That makes a lot of sense.
energy, happiness, and strength.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So for someone that, like, I've been through this journey for a little while now, um, mostly because my kids were born. So
Yeah.
that's sad to say, though, that it took my kids to be born for me to look into being
Well,
healthier. I was
most
somewhat,
people.
yeah. It's that for most people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so the point is that it's not, and I don't consider I'm at the best that I can be. Absolutely not. There's always way to improve. But for someone that is at the very beginning, that has just been following whatever they've been taught when they were young, and they're just doing mainstream, not necessarily asking a lot of questions and stuff like that. where do you start? Like it can be so overwhelming, and there's like all these companies that are out trying to sell you the natural products and natural this and holistic this and buy organic this and that. So I know there's a lot of labels that are not necessarily true either.
Mhm.
So where do we start? Where when we're at the very beginning of our journey and we have no clue where to look for?
So at the very beginning of the journey, I always tell people take a look at the basic components that we need in order to survive. We need oxygen. So I need you to breathe. And I need you to learn how to breathe properly, how to expand your lungs, how to contract them. That's even more important nowadays, where we need to get fresh air into our lungs and we need the stagnant air out. The second is, well, we have shelter. Most people have shelter, so we don't have to worry about that. The next is we need water. So I just need people to drink water, just sip throughout the day, and get those hydration levels up. Not even worrying about, what I'm drinking out of, what kind of water I'm drinking, just start sipping. And then the fourth thing is food. And when we're talking about food, I tell people we just complicate the heck out of nutrition. And it's not about reading labels and anything. I want you to move towards food that don't have a label, and that's it, right? This is food that was put on this earth for us to thrive with by eating. And so if it doesn't have a label, then it's going to help your body in some way. Okay. And then get specific over time, right? Just like I did. I was very general in the beginning of my journey. It was just like, oh, this isn't working for me. I don't want pain medication, but I don't want pain. What am I going to use? And then I was like, why do I have pain? And you dig deeper and deeper, but just start on the basic level. Start shifting that grocery shopping cart that you have. If it's primarily foods in a box or in a plastic container, then start increasing the amount of foods that are just on the outside aisles that they don't want you to go to of the shopping center. Start increasing and changing the ratio of those foods within your cart. Starting there, and with hydration and with breathing, there's huge leaps and bounds before someone even contacts me or contacts you to work with, right? That they can make and start feeling so much better.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Just that those changes made a lot of difference in in my
Yeah,
family's life anyway. So
yeah.
absolutely. So a lot of people, I see a lot of people that are, making those changes for themselves, and they're, growing through their journey, and they're doing the things we're talking about by themselves and on their own, and it's fine. But you decided to share it with people, to educate people, to bring us on your journey with you. To, I don't know, I feel like you're just wanting everybody to be as healthy as possible, and it feels
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. So what drives you to help people like that? Like, what, I know you have a big heart and there's probably so much more to that, but
Mm-hmm.
what makes you want to make sure that the most people are healthy?
I think a lot of that stems from a few different places, obviously. But number one, I feel like it would be just a waste of me going through so many struggles within my life, health wise, if I did not pass on my experiences and my knowledge to other people. Um, yeah, it would have all been for nothing if I don't. So I don't have plans on stopping anytime.
That's very good. And I'm very happy you're doing so, because
Yeah.
I love that. So we're going to wrap it up. But first, I want people to know where, if they want to follow you on social media, where can they find you? Do you have a website? Where can they
I
find
do.
Jenny Soder?
Okay, so it's pretty simple, although it's long.
I'll make sure it's in the comments below the
Okay,
video too, guys. Don't worry.
perfect. So on Instagram, you can find me at Natural Living by Jenny B. And website, you can find me at www.naturallivingbyjennyb.com. On Facebook, we have a natural living community, and that's an open group for people to go within and learn a little bit more. And yeah, that's mostly where you can find me nowadays.
Perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
No, I mean, there's so much we can chat about,
we can cover. I know. And I swear, guys, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get Jenny back on for some other topics. Perfect. I was just telling her before I pressed the record button here that I had to cut myself through my questions because this thing could have lasted hours. So Jenny's probably going to come back another time. I'm very grateful, Jenny, that you came on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so, thank you. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Hey everyone, I hope you liked this interview. As you can see, I had a lot of fun meeting with Jenny. So thank you for showing up today. I hope to see you on the next episode. Have a great week. I love you guys. Bye.